Today I'm going to share with you my top 5 health secrets to survive and thrive in 2025. The new cool and sexy word in the natural healthcare field, especially on social media, is biohack. Yeah, I'm going to biohack my health. Woo! I just think it's kind of funny and silly a little bit, but in all honesty, we all want to up-level our health. We all want certain advantages, tips and tricks to improve our overall well-being. And we want something that's quick, fast, safe, effective, and cheap. So we're going to dive in today to my top 5 secrets that I share with my patients that are going to really improve your health, your vitality, and you're going to be able to apply these very simply in your life. Some of these tips and tricks you may have heard before, but there's going to be a very interesting twist that I'm going to place on them. And I have almost 25 years of experience working with patients on a regular basis, handling most health issues naturally through chiropractic care, whole food supplements, diet, detoxification. My clinic is sort of a one-stop shop for natural health. So you're going to get some really expert advice and little tips and tricks that you didn't know that you're going to be able to apply that's going to, again, up-level your health in a big way. You can do all the sexy red light therapy, infrared saunas, cold plunging, cryotherapy, stem cells, IV vitamin drips, all those benefits and expense that will be mitigated if you don't apply what I'm recommending today. Okay, here's my first tip. You have to reduce your chemical exposure. We are living in a sea of chemicals. Okay, there are millions of different chemicals that we're exposed to, and you can't escape all of them, but you can do a lot to avoid these. Okay, let me give you some tips. Number 1, you need to stop using anything that has the word fragrance on it. If you buy anything from a common store, cleaner, soap, detergent, anything like that, what's going to happen is it's going to say fragrance on the back. And that fragrance, that word fragrance means artificial fragrance. Artificial fragrances are toxic to our body. They are hormone disruptors, and what they do is they also not only disrupt our hormones in our body, but they are cancer causing as well. So you want to avoid those as much as possible. So how do you do that? Well, you can make non-toxic cleaning agents in your own home. You can simply just get some water and some white vinegar, mix it together, and that creates a very good disinfected cleaning detergent. Or, something to clean the countertops with, or your floors, or your bathroom. You can also use hydrogen peroxide with water. 7th Generation is a good brand to use, and there's other ones out there that are non-toxic. So that's a must, okay? That's like something you really need to look at, because you can eat the best, you can take care of yourself, but if you're constantly exposing yourself to these chemicals, it's going to be hard to overcome that. Okay, these collect in your body, these forever chemicals are called. They just stick with you in your fat cells, and they're hard to get rid of in your body, hard to detoxify. It can be done, don't get me wrong, but you want to mitigate your exposure to those things. Other things you want to avoid. Febreze, spraying Febreze in the air, or any other artificial chemical like that. You want to avoid candles, okay? The commercial candles. If you're going to use any scented candles, get something that's scented with essential oils and that is all natural, because those scented Yankee candles, sorry Yankee, but I'm just being up front here. Those are cancer-causing scents that are being wafted out into the air and you're being exposed to. You also want to get those little Glade plugins out of your house and out of your office. Those are toxic. You want to avoid any deodorizers in your car as well. Okay? Essential oils are very healthy and beneficial and have a lot of health benefits, and they smell good. So find an essential oil that you like. They're cheap. You can mix it with a little water, and you can even scent your cleaner. Okay? So those are some ideas with the chemical front, but you really have to watch out for those. They're extremely toxic, and I see those creating lots of problems with people's health. In fact, I had a patient that had this chronic cough. She went to this medical doctor and that medical doctor and got on inhalers and all these antihistamines. And what I found in my clinic was she was being exposed to chemical toxins from Glade plugins and from Febreze. We got those out of her life and the cough was eliminated. Please drop a comment below if you have some other source of chemicals that I'm not mentioning today that you know that is a simple fix that you can avoid and maybe an alternative for people, because there's a lot of these things out there. There's so many that I didn't even mention. I don't have time to mention today, but please drop a comment below. We'd love to hear some more sources of these chemical toxins and alternatives. My second tip, here we go. You need to remove sugar from your diet. I'm sure you've heard this before, and if you've followed me at all, you've heard this before, but if there's one thing that my patients can remove from their life that would up-level their health more than anything, it would be to really mitigate and get that sugar out of their diet. Sugar is pro-inflammatory. The moment it hits your tongue, it causes your brain and your liver to swell measurably. Sugar is bad news. I really work with patients on a regular basis to handle this sugar issue. Diabetes is closing in on 10% of the population now, and why is that? Because people are eating too much sugar, too much high starchy carbohydrates, white flour, that type of thing. So am I saying to avoid fruit? No. The thing about fruit is if you eat fruit in minimal quantities, you're going to have the fiber in the fruit that's going to slow down the absorption of that sugar, and it'll be more easily assimilated in the body. Okay. Now, if you have a blood sugar problem, then fruit is really not something you should be consuming. But the low glycemic, low sugar fruits like berries would be great. Although we talked about chemicals, well, pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides are also a big thing we need to watch out for. And if you're eating commercial berries, they are some of the highest in pesticides. So spend a little extra money and get organic berries, so you're not getting those pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides on a regular basis. The sugar that I'm encouraging you to avoid is the refined sugar in the commercial cookies, candy, cake, pop, brownies, pancakes, waffles, all that stuff, okay? That is the toxic stuff, the refined sugar. Corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, it's toxic, and I should do a video just on that. But the one thing that people have a problem with is they think, and you might be thinking this right now, like, how am I going to stop sugar? I'm addicted to it. Well, what I'm going to recommend you do is just lower it on a gradient, step by step. Try and give yourself maybe 2 or 3 cheats. If you're eating sugar daily, slow down a little bit, okay? Just cut it in half and see how you do. And if you are really having problems, I'm going to post a link for a video below that I put out, and it's on how to improve your sugar cravings and really halt those in about 10 days. So check that video out below. Also, I'm going to include a free report on how to handle sugar cravings as well. And both of those 2 resources are really going to help you with this. And you really need to confront sugar. Sugar is a real killer. You might be able to get away with it for a while, but when you hit 35, 40, the chronic health issues are going to start kicking in, and sugar adds fuel to the fire. It's a real issue. So, did I tell you that sugar is an issue? I think I've made my point. I'll leave you with this one last fact. About 100 years ago, the average American ate about 1 pound of sugar a year. Now, guess how much the average teenager eats in 2024? It's actually about 1 pound a day. Wow. Okay, we're on to number 3. I'm going to try and get these last 3 done, 3, 4, and 5, before I see patients in about a half hour. So let's get into this. So number 3 is you need to supplement your diet with a whole food supplement. Why is that? Well, even if you eat a perfect organic diet, and most of us certainly don't do that, but even if you did that, you're not going to get all the minerals that you need in your diet. You need to supplement with a whole food supplement. In 1948, the Department of Agriculture declared that our soil in America was depleted of most minerals. And what are we? 75 years later or so? Oh my gosh, so what's the soil like now? Well, the problem is with commercial farming methods, the soil just gets depleted and sucked dry because there isn't proper farming methods. And when you supplement your diet with a whole food supplement, especially standard processes, catalin, And I'm going to put a link below for Catalin, more information about that. I'm actually going to not put a link, I'm going to put a video below on the best multivitamin for men and women. And it's a short video, but it'll give you more information on Catalin and standard process supplements. See, this company has been around since 1929. These supplements are not sold in stores. They're sold through healthcare practitioners. We have a holisticvisionary.shop Shopify store if you're interested in looking more into this. I'll put that below as well. But anyways, Catalin is the #1 multivitamin that I've used in my clinic since the year 2000. My family takes it. My patients take it. It's phenomenal. What you're getting is you're getting properly grown, concentrated whole foods all in a little pill. And this company, Standard Process, they have a farm. They have close to 1,000 acres of organic farmland up in Palmyra, Wisconsin. And they pick their crops. They process them very quickly at low temperatures, and they suck out all the concentrated nutrients and put it in a pill form. And so you're basically getting food in a pill. This isn't a synthetic horse pill, like something you buy at Vitamin Shop or Walgreens or Walmart or something like that, or something cheap, okay? It's actually very, very cost effective to take this, but you're getting nectar of the gods as far as nutrition. So you really need to round out your diet with a whole food supplement. Whether you take Catalin or something else that you can find, it has to be whole food. But I think Catalin is the best. My 4th tip, you have to exercise. There is more research on how exercise helps your health than I think any other topic on planet Earth. Eating is certainly important, and that's always been my stress, but as I've gotten older, I'm 53 now, and what I'm realizing is exercise is critical, because if you don't move it, you lose it. Once you hit 40, you really need to start moving your body. I mean, you should always be active, growing up certainly, and my kids were always outside playing as much as they could. But with conveniences and electronics and the way it is right now, it's a lot more convenient to not exercise, right? So what I tell patients is just move your body, do something that you like to do and you can tolerate to do a minimum of 30 minutes 3 times a week. Whether that's walking, whether that's weight training, whether it's yoga, Pilates, whatever you like to do. But you have to move your body, and you really need to get the heart pumping. Okay, get your heart rate up to at least about 120 beats per minute, something like that. If you don't move it, you lose it. So make sure and do that. I know it's so cliche and people talk about you got to exercise, but I'm telling you, there's no greater amounts of research than on the benefits of exercise on health. Okay, we're in the final stretch here. So the last tip and trick to biohack your health is you need to drink proper amounts and the proper quality of water. Okay? I recommend people drink about 40 to 60 ounces a day of water. There's lots of opinions out there about that, but in general, 40 to 60 ounces is pretty workable for most people. And if you're consuming coffee, for every cup of coffee you drink, you need to drink another 10 ounces because coffee is dehydrating. What sources of water should you drink? Well, the last thing you want to be drinking is city tap water. It's loaded with pharmaceuticals, it's loaded with chlorine and fluoride. You want to avoid it like the plague. It's toxic, okay? If you want to do something to harm yourself, drink a lot of chlorinated water. The other thing you need to do is you need to get a shower filter, because if you're showering in chlorinated water, it's like drinking 6 glasses of water every time you shower. Your pores are open, and that hot water, that chlorine gets into a gaseous form, and you're going to absorb it right into your pores. So you have to watch out. Get a shower filter that pulls out chlorine at a minimum, because that's going to really benefit you in a big way. Your hair, skin, and nails are going to be much softer and less dry. If you have well water, then not necessary. Okay, so you need to avoid tap water, right? What are some beneficial waters to drink? Well, a couple good brands. Mountain Valley Spring Water in glass is one of the best. It's from Hot Springs, Arkansas, and that's a very high quality spring water. Fiji is a very good water as well. Also Smart Water. Smart Water is distilled water with some minerals added. and that's a pretty clean water. If you have a distiller, you can, one of those countertop distillers, you can fill that up with a gallon of water and you can make your water for the day. It takes a couple hours, but the one thing you're getting with distilled water is pure H2O with nothing else in it. And there's a lot of opinions about, is it good for you? Does it deplete you of minerals? My opinion is no. I just want clean water at this point because it's so hard to find. If you want to get some of those liquid minerals and add it to your distilled water, then you're going to mineralize and charge that water up, and that would be a good thing for you. Microplastics from plastic water bottles are a problem. Please, if you're drinking out of plastic water bottles, don't reuse them. It's not a good thing. If you're drinking out of a plastic container on a regular basis, don't put it in hot water. Put it in lukewarm water. Don't put it in the dishwasher. It's much better to get a glass water container with like a silicone rubber around it. They sell those all over the place. Glass is really, really healthy to use because none of that gets in the water. Plastics, not so good. But I understand it. We can't escape these in many ways. So I'm giving you some simple tips and tricks. So if I was traveling and I needed to get some water, I would buy either Smart Water or Fiji water. If I really wanted to do it perfectly, I would get a distiller and I would put it in my basement if I had a basement and run a pipe up, and I would run that through my sink, and that's what I would cook and drink on a regular basis, and I would add some minerals. One other tip you can do is you can get Mountain Valley spring water from your local water source. Like we use a company called Distillata in Cleveland, and they deliver 5-gallon glass jugs of Mountain Valley spring water. The only problem is they're very, very heavy. So if you're older, it's going to be hard for you to lift those up and put them on your cooler or on your clay pot. But other than that, it's a very good source. Wow, we covered a lot today, but I know it's going to be very, very beneficial for your health if you can apply these 5 tips. Check out my next video above.